Hey everyone, this is Jason Akatif over at Jamiac Incorporated here in San Diego, California. I was going to put a video together today that is going to show you how to get started with Odoo. Um, there's a lot of videos out there that tell you how the different modules work, and it's got 10,000 different options, but there's no video that I found at least that teaches you the very basics of how Odoo works from an inventory purchasing perspective, and just to kind of follow that process from beginning to end. Today we're going to start with Odoo.com. I typically like to use Odoo.com for all of my learning experiences. And the reason for that is I just don't want to mess up our company database. We do thousands of transactions a day in it, and I never want to mess with the actual database that we're working with, or try to learn on the database that we're working with on a daily basis. Because with Odoo, if you make some mistakes, sometimes it can be really hard to unwind what mistakes were created. You can't just hit undo and it fixes. A lot of times, because of the power of the automation, there may be one action that's tied into 20 or 30 other actions in the system, everything from accounting to journal entries to manufacturing and so on and so forth. So I like to do all my testing and all my training of myself on the Odoo instance. You'll just go to odoo.com, you'll sign up to try it free, and then once you have that, you'll select the apps that you want to use. I've already got an account with Odoo. This is another really cool part about odoo.com is once you have an account, you can just make a free database. You can see here, these are just all my test databases that I've been doing over the last little while. And for this exercise, we're just going to go new database. I've got Jamiac 7. So here over on the right, we're going to select apps, inventory, purchasing, sales, and invoicing. I'm also going to add accounting to this list. So sales, invoicing. I think when you add accounting, it automatically adds invoicing, inventory, and purchasing. So those are the ones I'm going to add to the list there. So when I configure this, we're going to have a 15-day free trial. That's plenty of time to learn on this database, because if it's your first time, you might mess something up and you just want to create another database like this anyway. So we'll go configure. I'm going to call this one Jamiac 8. Company size, I'd pick that because that's the size we are. I'm going to say I'm a teacher and student, so they won't reach out to me to try to sell me a copy of Odoo. Again, this is just training and testing purposes. So, why we're doing this is it's building here in the background. Also over here, you'll notice your database name is the company name on that field. So I called it Jamiac 8, and the URL will be jamiac8.odoo.com. You'll see once it spins up here. The process we're going to go through today is we're going to create a product. Then we're going to create a vendor that we're buying that product from. Then we're going to purchase a product. Then we're going to receive that product into inventory once we've purchased it. Then we're going to sell that product. Then we're going to fulfill that product to the customer. So what we're going to do to get started, we're going to go into, actually, let me go over here and just confirm this database, because if you don't confirm it pretty quickly, they delete it. Let me go here. Just click on the email to activate. There, now it's activated. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to inventory here, and then we're going to go to master data, and or actually we're going to do configurations first. So we're going to these are all called apps inside. So imagine like your iPhone. They're all different apps that do different things inside of Odoo. So we're going to go through and set up these settings here for each app. So we're going to go into inventory. We're going to go to configuration. We're going to go to settings. Then we're going to go to multi-warehouse. multi-warehouse, multi-step routes, and storage locations all should be checked. Those are checked automatically. We're going to select landed costs. Uh-oh, somebody's trying to call me here. Let me just decline that. I'm going to select landed costs. Well, as you can see, there's thousands and thousands of options inside of Odoo. So, we're just going to select the stuff that's the most important to us. Oh, okay, we've got multi-warehouse in here twice, so I'll delete that out just so it's not confusing there. And then next, so we'll hit save there. Next, we'll go to purchasing. Head over here. Come on. You can do it. Purchasing, what are we turning on there? We're going to maybe do some examples with drop shipping. Again, where this isn't all going to be in this tutorial. I'm just getting all this stuff set up so you can play with different stuff that you might want to learn in the future for these basic concepts. That's Odoo's little help box. And then the last thing here, we're going to go to sales and we're going to go to variants. Variants within Odoo are attributes. So that could be color. Say you've got a t-shirt, maybe you've got colors of that t-shirt, you've got sizes of that t-shirt and a bunch of different stuff like that. So we're going to go in like that. Okay, now all of our settings are set up. Just to give you can go look through here and just see all the different capabilities, push notifications, collaborative, Google Drive. It hooks into all those different things, but that's not really important for this demonstration. So our step one is we need to create a product. So we're going to go here. And one thing you'll notice here is I like to do group by. We'll go warehouses. So my company. So these are all the orders we're going to receive. These are things we're transferring between the company or between locations. And then these are delivery orders for all the deliveries that are going out to our customers. So here we're going to go products. We're going to create a new product. Really cool product. And as we create a new product, really, this is one of the most important pieces here. Is it a storable product? So does it relate to inventory? Is it a service that we're offering? Obviously, there's no inventory there. And is it a consumable that there's no inventory there as well? And then we've got product category, internal reference. This is where we keep our SKU. We're going to take that off. We're going to sell this for $12 a unit is our number there. Here we're going to set $8 a unit. Now this is a fixed cost, and I believe this auto updates, at least it does on our internal version, as depending on what you buy it at from what vendor, which we'll look at in a second. This is where you add the variants here, so colors or sizes, things like that. Sales, so we invoice when they order. And then re-invoice. Yep, that's not relevant for what we do. And then vendors. So we're going to create a vendor. Then a vendor is the person that we obviously order this product from, and we'll call them our new vendor. Oops, actually, shoot, that's for the product variant. We're going to go here, our new vendor. Vendor. And we'll go create our new vendor. Product name, product code. So this would be the name and the code that the vendor knows the product by. Now we may have a SKU that we know it by, but they may have a SKU that they know it by inside of their system. So when we send our orders, we actually would order by their SKU, not by our SKU. That allows us to do that. This is our MOQ, or minimum order quantity. And how much are we going to buy it from this vendor? We'll say $9. And then how long is that price valid? And I'm just going to leave that blank as of right now. And then how long does it take the vendor to get the product to us? And this goes into Odoo's forecasting capabilities. But we'll just do that now to keep it simple. I'm going to take that off on taxes. These are the different routes. So if we were going to drop ship, if this was a drop ship product, then we'd tick this one here. If we were going to make the product, once the order came in, we would tick this one here. But we're typically just buying inventory and putting it into stock. Weight, whatever this can be, or 2 kilograms, and then the volume here is going to be, I don't know, 10 meters squared. It's big. And then you can set automatically what expenses and payables accounts that comes out of. So we're going to hit save on that new product. So now we've got a new product in our system. You can see here, oops, this is a mess up because of the vendor, or actually the variant that I use. So I'll just go in and delete that. So here's our really cool product. So we've made our product. So that's our first step here. So we've made our product. We also created our vendor. And you'll see here, if you go to inventory, operations, no master data. Oh, shoot, where is it? Actually, I think it's under purchasing. You'll see we created that vendor there. And it is going to have created our vendor here. Again, this is that same one that was a problem. So we'll just delete it out of there because we haven't used it yet. So here's our new vendor. These over here, you can look, you can change to different views. This is a list view. This is a card view that you can kind of go back and forth between. Also, we don't have data yet, but you can filter vendors. You can group the vendors by the salesperson. So if you want to look at all the vendors under a salesperson, but you can group stuff however you want here. And then if you like, if you find a view you really like, you can actually save those views for that there, and you can actually save it used by default. So whenever you come to this page, it'll show you that view by default. So you can build a bunch of custom views, or you can build views that you share with other people as well. So we created a vendor. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to purchase our stock. So we need to put our stock into inventory. So we're going to go over here. We're going to create a purchase order. We're going to go new and new. See, this is our new vendor. This would be a reference number out of the vendor. We're going to go really, really cool product. And we're going to order 100 of these. See, by default, it put in here what the vendor's prices was because we chose that vendor. It automatically populated that total. So then we'll just add that line. Then we're going to go over here always to the other information. And then this is going to say where we want to deliver that product to. So we're going to send it to the My Company warehouse using the operation type My Company. Operation types are linked to what's called routes inside of Odoo. This is a little more advanced. But operation types say, hey, take this into this process, essentially. And then the routes manage that. They manage that process. This is our scheduled date. So when is this inventory going to actually get here? Let's just say we'll do 1st of next month. It's going to arrive. What is our payment terms? Net 30. And then this is for United States. So we've got all this stuff. And this is our freight, whoever is going to be our freight carrier to bring this product or this purchase order in. So then we're going to go save. And just to show you, if you go over here, then you go to inventory, you go to inventory report, you go current inventory. We've got no inventory in stock in any of our locations. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this purchase order, and we're actually going to confirm our purchase order, which is going to create a shipment. So this is an inbound shipment that's coming to us. So if we go over again to inventory and we look at our warehouses, and I'm going to go warehouse, and then I'm going to use by default, so it'll always show up this way for me. You'll see we now have a receipt coming into the warehouse. That means we have a shipment that's inbound to our warehouse. from our new vendor, and it's expected to get there on 5/8. Because why is that? Essentially, because we set the delivery time at the vendor level. Um, as far as we set the delivery time at the vendor level, so it took the scheduled date and then it ran that date out plus the delivery time on the vendor level. So we can see the same thing if we go here to purchases and we go here. So on the purchase order, this here is going to take us to the same place that if we go the other way, you'll see here. So just for fun, because we would be an inventory guy and I say, okay, a guy or girl. So we go here, and we'd say, okay, we want to validate this. So currently we have this set to a 1-step. So if the vendor sends it to us and then we receive it into stock. You can also set it to be multi-steps where you maybe receive it to a receiving dock, then you put it into quality control, then you move it into stock. If you want to have a multi-step process, or you can set that up in more complex ways. But ultimately, we're going to take this in. So initial demand is 100. 0 have been received. Once I hit this, it's going to ask me, do you want to receive the 100 automatically? The reason it's asking that is you can actually go in here, and if for some reason you didn't get all 100 or you got more than 100, you could update this. You could say, okay, or maybe 80 of them were good. Maybe we want to receive 80. So we could say confirm there, and you'll see 80 are done. So that's going to leave an extra 20. So maybe we only got 80. So then we go validate, and then it's going to automatically allow us to create a back order for those 80 that were not sent. And then we can deal with the vendor on that side. So let me go here again. Oops. Let me update this to 100 just so we're confirming the full order, because we don't want to do the back order thing for now. And then we'll go validate. Now, once that's validated, then it's actually moved into stock. You'll see on the input, this is coming from our vendor. This is going into our warehouse stock, following routes or operation type of my company receipts. I don't see anything there. So if we go back here, you'll now see that receipt is gone. We have no inbounds, we have no internals, and we have no outbounds as of right now. If we go into reporting, we'll go current inventory. So we'll see we have really cool products. We have it in warehouse, and then we have 100 of them in stock. None are reserved to sell as of yet. And then also in here, if you go inventory valuation, it'll tell you we've got 100. We bought them for $8 a piece, I guess, and that value is $8. Now, we just received this, so there's another thing that we're going to need to do. Let's see. I thought I turned on landed costs. Hold on one second. Let me go back over here to landed costs. Landed costs. Let me turn on landed costs because we use this a lot. So landed costs are duties or freight or anything of that nature. So if we go over here to landed costs, we need to create a couple of landed costs. So we're going to go configuration. We're going to go landed cost type, and we're going to create duties. And we're going to set that well, let's see what we got. Expenses, I suppose. Service. This is a consumable or service. I'm not sure which one you'd set duties to, and then we can split this dollar amount up by, we want to do it by by current cost. So that is, the duties are going to be applied based on how much the product, each of the products units cost. Now, in order to use landed costs, we're going to have to go do a few things into the configuration. So number one, we added landed costs actually, and then number two, we've got to go into product categories, and then each of our product categories we got to edit, and we've got to move this to a first in, first out strategy. Yes, I want to update that because it's going to impact the inventory valuation, and we wanted to automate the inventory valuation so we're not doing manual processes. So I'm going to update that there. If for some reason you've got multiple categories, we could do it on these others as well. Maybe I'll do it on this one. FIFO and okay. You can read about the other processes, but if you want automated valuations and you want to be able to use landed costs, which I think is best practices, you have to use FIFO and automated. So we've got all the settings. We turned on landed costs in the settings, and then we went to the product categories and we turned on landed cost or FIFO and automated there. Now we went to our landed cost type. We created a landed cost called duties. So then if we go here, we're going to apply a landed cost. So we'll go create a landed cost. Yep. And then we're going to pick that transfer. That's that inbound transfer that we got. So we'll apply it there. We're going to call the landed cost miscellaneous operations. This here is going to go duties. And we're going to say those duties were $50. Oh, yeah, $50. So, and you'll see it defaults to the current cost per item, expense account. Then we're going to hit here, we're going to hit compute. And if you hadn't set up the configuration properly, that compute thing wouldn't work and it would throw an error and say you need to use FIFO and automated. So weight, volume, quantity, former cost $8, former cost 800, additional landed costs 500. So we're going to hit save, and then we're going to validate that to apply it to that inbound shipment. And then what I'd like to show you here is if we go over to inventory valuation, we'll look at our inventory valuation, and now you'll see this change from $800 to $950. And if you want to look at the details of that, you can click on this little eye, and it'll show you the applied landed costs for that. So now you can see why that is now $950 rather than just the $800. Now, I'm not sure exactly how you can look at what each product cost is, but essentially it takes that 100, divides it by the 950, and now to calculate your product cost rather than the 100 and the 800. So we've got all of our inventory in there. It's all ready to sell. It's sitting in our warehouse, and somebody goes and makes a sale. So we're going to go over to the sales app. We're going to create a quotation. Great new customer. So we've got this new customer that just came in. You can set their payment terms, that you want them to pay by. But most importantly, we're going to go really great product or really cool product. They like our product. They want 5 of these, and actually we're going to sell them to them at $20. So you see $100 down there. You can leave a note here if you want to leave anything for the payment terms. And then this is going to tell them where that product is going to come from. So my company's, this is the warehouse it's going to come from. And then you can set a strategy. Do you want to deliver it when it's available, or do you want to deliver all products at once? This would save you on shipping costs, but might slow down your time that the customer gets the product. So then we're going to hit save. And then now it's sitting in a quotation state. And then when we go confirm, this actually turns it into a sales order. So if we go here to orders, you'll see here it's actually been created into a sales order. You'll also notice when we turn it into a sales order, it creates a delivery. So this is the delivery to the customer. Again, similar to the PO, when you click on that delivery, it takes you, now this is from warehouse, it's an out, and this is our first outbound delivery order. It's going to great new customer, and the source location is it's coming from our stock using the operation type delivery orders. As of right now, there was initial demand, 5 units. There's reserved 5 units, but nothing's actually been shipped yet. We'll look at this another way as well. So if we go into inventory, and now you can see there's a delivery order to that customer. I set it as whenever I did it, so now it says it's late. But if I go to the customer, I'm going to see the same thing I saw before, right? There's that 5, there's that 5, and there's that done. Now, this hasn't been shipped out yet. So if we go to our inventory report to get our counts, you'll see that we now have 100 on hand still, but 5 of those are reserved for this sales order. So we really have 95 that are sellable, not 100. And then if we go back here, oops, and then we go here and we say, okay, we shipped it out. So I believe you can, no, not there. We shipped it out. You have not recorded done quantities. So if you wanted to ship out a partial order, again, much like the PO on the receiving side, you can adjust this to less. As an example, if you go validate, so then we've got apply. So now this shipment is actually done. You'll notice here that it's done. It's not there anymore. We'll go here and we'll take off that because we want to see the one that was shipped. And so that's all done there. This is in done state. And then if we go here, we go to inventory report and we look here, we will now see that we only have 95 products on hand. That reserved is gone because that has shipped out. And then here we're going to go to, let's go look at our valuation report. So we've got 95 at a 902.50 value now, right? Because you can see here the 5 were shipped out of inventory. And if we go 47.50 divided by 5, that gives us $9.50 per unit, which was our $950 for 100 units. So that makes sense. And you can see this is the inventory valuation, right? And this is the detail view that shows our landed cost that got applied to the whole order, and then we shipped out that chunk there. So you can always go look at product moves. You're going to get a similar thing here, but this is just going to be quantities, not dollars. If you look at the product move reporting. So that's all your basic operations to create a product, then create a purchase order, then receive it into inventory, then you make a sale, and then you ship that out to the customer. So the next thing I wanted to do is, let's say we have 2 warehouses. So we're going to create a second warehouse here. We'll call this Jamiac East, JMKE. I'm going to add it. We want this to come in 2 steps because we want to receive it into a dock, and then we want to loading dock, and then we're actually going to put it away once it gets to loading dock. So we want to say, okay, this is going to go into the loading dock and as a 2-step process versus a 1-step process like we did before. We'll leave the outgoing as it is there. So now we've got 2 warehouses. So what we're going to do is we're going to go do another purchase order, and we're going to send this to our other warehouse. So our new vendor, and then we're going to order really cool products, and we're going to order 500 of these, 500 of those, and then we're going to go here, and then we're actually going to ship this to our other warehouse. So that'll go to Jamiac East now, rather than my warehouse, which we could just say was our internal one. We're gonna say that's our carrier. 15-day terms on that, and then fiscal position US. So now we're gonna say, okay, we want this order. You see there's no delivery here. Oh, now we've got the receipt. great. So this order, we're going to go over to inventory. Now we know the warehouse is waiting to receive this product. It should come in at some point. So let's say it's here. And we're using a two-step process on this one. Okay, this order's here, so it just landed. So now we're going to say validate. Okay, recorded against the quantities as we talked about. So now we're going to go back here, and you'll see that it's now in internal transfers. This means it's actually on our shipping dock. We can name locations. So if you go here to locations, you can name the different locations, and maybe we call that as our, it's currently sitting on our shipping dock. Another thing you'll notice is if we do inventory report, there is nothing, or is there? Oh, yeah, actually it says, I'm sorry. Actually, it says we've got 500 of these products now, and 500 of them are reserved. That means they're not sellable as of current, because they're sitting on the shipping dock. They're not actually in stock. So then if we go over here, what we'll do is we're going to process. So now we're going to put these items away. So we'll go here, and then we're going to validate that internal transfer from input to stock, or we could call this loading dock to stock. So now we put them away. If we go here, we'll see that there's nothing in internal transfers. Everything's being put away. If we do inventory report, we're going to look at Jammy stock. Look, there's nothing reserved now. We've got 500 of those 500 of those items on hand. So that gives you can see how to ship to a secondary warehouse. In our system, we've since added another feature because oftentimes, we might go really cool product we want to send, and we've got a bunch of different warehouses. So, really cool product, and we want to send 100. And then on this line item, we can actually choose which operation type to deliver to. We can select which operation type we'd like to use, and then that would ultimately, if we selected two different ones, it would create two delivery receipts in our current system. I think this is an add-on that you can get for Odoo, or if you've got some developers, it makes things much easier for that. So I think that's all I've got to show you today. One other thing maybe. Okay, we're going to cancel out of there. If we're going to create, and we're going to go new customer, and we're going to ship more products. So if we went product, really cool product, and we're going to sell 200 of these because our warehouse, it'll give you, okay, you plan to sell 200 units of really cool product, but you only have 95 available in stock at my warehouse. There are 500 across other warehouses. Okay, so it gives you a warning there saying, hey, you don't actually have this in stock to ship out of that warehouse. And you'll see here that's because we've got this warehouse selected. Then that tells us maybe we've got it at another warehouse, or if maybe we don't, if we left this on deliver each product when available, that's going to create a secondary back order. So let me show you how that works. So if I go I go confirm. So that just said, okay, we just sold 200 out of here. So then if we go over here to our delivery orders, so out of my company, we're going to go here. We're going to go check availability. So you'll see it reserve those 95. And then if we validate that, you've not recorded done quantities, right? So it's going to validate that at the 95, and then it's going to create a back order. So we'll create a back order there. So it fulfilled this order at the 95. And then it created a back order for what needs to be shipped later on. So check availability. We still don't have that in stock. So what we'll do is we'll go over here, and we know, oh shoot, we've got to go purchase vendor and really great product. And we're going to grab 200 of those. And then we're going to make sure that that's shipping to my company warehouse. I'm going to hit save, and then we're going to confirm that order. And this one, remember, we have set only to a one-step process. So you'll see here it's on the receipts. And then you click into here, and then we're going to validate that, which means we're receiving that into stock now, right? That's going to go into stock. So if I go company receipts, because that's the one-step process, there's no internal transfers there. So then we can go here and say, okay, here's our back orders, because now we have this in stock. We'll go check availability. Oops, and we've got our 105 that we now can reserve against that order. We'll do that shipment. Boom, that's going to go out there, and that should fill all of our orders. I think that's a good start to get going. As most of this stuff, I think the best way to do this is, watch this video. As you watch this video, pause it and reverse it. Go over to odoo.com, sign up for your own account, and walk through step by step and get all this stuff under your belt. And then what I would suggest doing is just start going through some use cases. What if we don't have inventory? What if we do have inventory? What if we add another warehouse? What if we need to add another step to the process? How would we do that? And ask yourself some of the questions and try and remember how it all works. That's it for today. I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, I'm going to be posting it on YouTube. And you feel free to ask me questions on YouTube. Or obviously, if you work over at Jamiac, you can ask me questions directly. Appreciate it.